Hello again, our most valued student. My name is Confident and welcome to the last session of our revision for Mathematics N4. And as I say, this is the latest paper which was just written on the 29th of June. And as I'm doing this video, this is the latest exam. And I've gone through all the papers from question number 1, question number 2, question number 3, question number 4, and now I am looking at the last question, which is question number 5. So if you are joining us for the first time, it means that you have missed 4 questions, and also I will encourage you therefore to ensure that you are subscribed to this channel, the 24-minute lesson, and this channel is made with you in mind. So subscribe to this channel and ensure that the notification bell is turned on so that you will be notified every time we are posting a new video. As I said, guys, we got a lot of content on this channel, especially for Maths N1 to N4, and you can also share the channel to your friends and colleagues so that they can also benefit. So let us look at this question number 5, and this is one of the few times I've gone through some of these lessons, especially in Maths N4, but as I said, let's go through it. Again, a disclaimer, should there be some errors, please note that these are open for suggestions. You can leave your comments below, and also if I pick up that there were some errors after going through the memorandum when it comes out, I will also be in a position to tell you that, look, check this out, there was an error in such a question. But as far as we are going, since the memorandum is not yet out, let's go through some of these questions. So let us look at question 5.1. It says solve for M and P simultaneously if, and then you are given that kind of a matrix. Says you need to find that. It says if you are given, if I can make this, let me write this and then take it to the other side. So what you are given is, you are given, if I can have this, you are given 3 minus, actually is 3 minus j2, okay, I'll get more space, 1 plus j, and then let's have this a bit of a distance here, and then we have 1 minus j3 and 1 plus j3. So you are given that, and then they say this is equal to, okay, let me just write that this is equal to M plus JP. So I am able then to isolate this and take it to this side. So we are solving, how many marks is this? This is 4 marks. All right, so let us take it this side and see what we can do there. All right, so here we go. So we are supposed to solve for M and in a way M and P simultaneously. So that's what we're having here. Now look at this. If I'm supposed to find the, I'm supposed to evaluate, that's the word, I'm supposed to evaluate this kind of a matrix. It's a 2 by 2 matrix. And if I'm going to be evaluating, remember, I'm going to say you multiply that and then you subtract the multiplication of that. So what I'm going to have is, I'm going to say 1 plus j3. So it's 1 plus j3 multiplying 3 minus j2. Are you getting that? And then I'm going to subtract minus, and then I'm going to have 1 plus j multiplying 1 minus j3. So if I'm doing that, this, after evaluating, remember, it's simultaneous equation, it will be equal to M plus JP. You see that? And then after that, that's how I'm going to be solving that. So if I'm opening the bracket here, it's normal expansion. It's 1 times 3, I get my 3. 1 times j2 is negative j2. j3 times this, it's plus 9, is plus j9 here, or 9j, still fine. And then that times that, it's a minus j squared, and then 3 times 2 is 6. That's the first one. Minus, put a bracket because of that minus while you're expanding, because it affects everything inside. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times j3 is negative j3. J times 1 is plus j. J times negative j3 is minus j squared 3. This is clear to say it's a squared 3. And then close the bracket. This will be equal to m plus jp. Okay, we need to now open that bracket, which is 3 minus j2 plus j9. Now I need to, okay, before that, let me just write that minus j squared 6 minus 1 plus j3. Alright, and then minus j plus j squared 3. And then we say this is m plus jp. And then we continue to say, now we need to collect. Before we collect like terms, let's simplify this part, because we can further simplify j squared. Remember, j squared is minus 1. So what I have here is 3 minus j2 plus j9, or I can just simplify this to simplify. So it's minus j2 plus j9, meaning minus 2 plus 9, it's plus 7, so it's j7. Now j squared is minus, remember j squared is minus 1. Remember, j here is square root of negative 1. So if you say j squared is minus 1 squared, which is negative 1. Remember that. So that's why I'm simplifying that. So we also have minus 1 multiplied by 6 minus 1, and then j3 minus j, meaning 3 minus 1, which is plus j2, and then again plus j squared there, become negative 1 3, and this is equal to m plus jp. Are you getting that? So this is just basic simplification now. And then I think here we've got 3 plus j7 minus is plus 6 minus 1 plus j2, and then minus 3 is equal to m plus jp. I think now we can collect like terms to say we have that number and that number and that number and that number. So if I can collect this, I've got 3 plus 6 minus 1 minus 3. Okay, and then also I've got that, and then I've got that. So which is in this case plus j7 plus j2, which is equal to m plus jp. Alright, so you can now use a calculator just to simplify. So with the calculator, I've got 3 plus 6 minus 1 minus 3, and I've got 5, and then it's 5 plus j9 here is equal to m plus jp. So this is now where we get our final answer to say, look at this now, I'm saying 5 plus j9 is equal to m plus jp. So now if I'm to solve then the simultaneous equation, I'm going to be matching now. Look at this, the 5 is the m and the j is the p. Look at that. So here I can conclude and say m is equal to 5, and I can say p is equal to 9. I think that's what it means to say solve simultaneously for that. So that was that question here. It was 5.1, I would say. So it was 4 marks, and I think it's yeah, not complicated to say, but something that you could also follow up and do. So that's first question, 5.1. And then 5.2, it says we need to simplify, and we are given that expression. And then if I can just also write it down to say we are given here 2cis 30 squared, and then dot, we are also given 3, and then it's cos 60 minus j sine 60, close that, and then to the power of 3, that all over, let me use this one, all over, and then you have got 2 10 cubed dot 3 40 degrees squared, and then dot, you have got 3 says 50 degrees. So this is what we're given, and again I hope I didn't miss out anything, and we are supposed to simplify this. So now if I can just bring it also on the side, so it's 4 marks, again not really complicated to say, but it needs you to be a bit more careful every time you're solving this. So how do I prefer to approach this one? I prefer to work it individually, so meaning I just prefer to do it one step at a time. So if I've got 2 cis, if I simplify 2 cis 30 squared, what does it give me? Now remember, I can use my calculator here. This is same as saying 2 30 degrees squared. And remember de Moivre's theorem to say if you are given that, this is same as 2 squared, and then you say 30 times 2, which is equal to 4. 30 times 2 becomes 60 degrees. Remember that. That is the first part. The second part, if you are now saying 3 cos 60 minus j sine 60, and then close that, but you have got cubed there. We're also using de Moivre's theorem. We have to simplify this. What do I have here? This is same as saying 3 now cos 60. Now this is minus sine 60, meaning negative is in the, remember, negative sine 60 is in the 4th quadrant. So this is same as if you remember the cast diagram to say all students take chemistry, and now negative sine 60 is here, which is in the 4th quadrant. That's where cos is positive and sine is negative. So here you can say this is same as 360 minus 60 degrees minus theta, which is equal to 300 degrees. So this you can rewrite it and say cos 300, and we know cos 300 is same as cos 60, and then you can say now plus j, because you need to have a plus, sine 300, so that you are more comfortable in solving this. You could have done it with a negative, but I'm just trying to show you it is the same as writing it like this. Then this becomes, if you're simplifying it, you can say is 300 degrees to the power of 3. And again, using de Moivre's theorem like we did previously, this is same as saying 3 to the power of 3, and then it's 300 times 3, and then you're going to get 3 to the power of 3 is 27, and then this gives us 900. But now remember, 900 is you have to take out to say how many revolutions are there. You subtract 360 from 900, so 900 minus 360, it gives us 540. Again, I subtract minus 360, another revolution, it gives me 180. So I'll have that. But as I said, this was the same as if I had taken it from here to say this is 360, and I had what? I had cubed. Remember, there was a 3, so which is 3 cubed, and then I had 60 times 3, which is 27, and then 60 times 3 is 180. You get that? So that is that. And then let's look at the other one. The other one I have is 2, you can write this one, it's 10 to the power of 3. This is same as 2 cubed, and then it's 10 times 3, which is same as what? 2 cubed is 8, 30 degrees. Are you getting that? And I'm just working this in so that I can just bring everything once together, and then I've got 340 squared, that is 40 degrees, which is same as 3 squared, and it's 40 times 2, which is 980 degrees. Are you seeing that? And then the last one is 3650, and then the 3650 is same as saying let me just do that one, which is 3650. This is same as saying 350 degrees. So now I'm going to bring this question, I'm just going to duplicate it and to say, okay, let me first do this. I just want to put it like this. I'm just gonna take it out totally of the way, okay, like that, just to ensure that I bring it doesn't allow me. Okay, let me try it again here to say, if I leave enough space like this, just want to bring it like that. Perfect. All right, so the aim here is to ensure that I rewrite this thing with solutions that I was having here, just to now I'm using the answers that I was getting, just to then take it from there to say, how does it simplify to? I hope this is the all right. I've managed to bring it here. So what does this simplify to? I can now use what the answers that I was getting to say. The first one was 460 on the squared, so it's 460. If I continue, and this will be 460, and then dot, and then so it's 460, and then the other one, it gave me, that's the 27180. So I've got 27180. All right, that is already with the cubed. Okay, and then all over, and then I've got the other one, which is that one, 830, and then dot, The other one will give me 980. And then the last one will give me 350. And then simplifying it further now, remember now, whenever, according to de Moivre's theorem, when I'm multiplying, so what you do, you multiply the 4 by 27, and then you add the degrees, 180 degrees, remember that, and then it's all over. So you multiply. Also, you're multiplying here 8 times 9 times 3, and then you're adding the degrees using de Moivre's theorem. I'm going to do full lessons on these in full. Just doing this for the sake of revision here, so I'm just doing it much quicker here, but just check the follow-up videos in the nearby future where I'll be going through this lesson. So what I have here, actually simple here, 4 into 8, I get my 2. 9 times 3 is 27, to cancel that. So now 60, so what I'm adding actually is the top one, which is 60 plus 180. It gives me what? 240. So I've got 204, so it's 240 degrees over 2, and then if I add the bottom one, I'm getting 30 plus 80 plus 50, which is 160. I hope this is fine. 160 degrees, which is equal to, so if we have, now I'm dividing, and then what happens if you're dividing the numbers? They will divide. However, the angles is 240 minus 160. That's what you'll be having. You subtract when you're dividing. When you multiply, you are adding. So which is 1 over 2. And then you're going to say, what is 240 minus 240 minus 160? There is 1 there. It will give us 80. So this then becomes the final answer. What did they say? They said here you need to they said what? Simplify. So we're just simplifying this. So it depends how you want to leave it. If you want to leave it in polar form, you can do that, which is equal to that. I think I can leave it in rectangular form. If I'm leaving it in rectangular form with the calculator, so it's shift rec, so I've got that 0,5, shift comma, and then I've got 80 there. What will it give me? X is 0,086. That is my X, and my Y is 0,49. So I can have 0,49 is Y, 0,086 is X. So it will be 0,086, and then Y was 0, which is plus 0,49, and is the J. This is the rectangular form of that. So depending whatever you want to leave your answer with. So that was that, if ever you were simplifying. So that was the question, and we said this question was what? It was 4 marks, so not bad. Now look at the part. Now we are finalizing 5.3. I'm supposed to evaluate. This is 3 marks. I'm supposed to evaluate. This is simpler. Now I can visualize this 3 minus J2 over 2 plus J. So I'm supposed to evaluate this, and when I'm evaluating here, what I need to do is to multiply the denominator by the modulus. I mean by the conjugate. The conjugate meaning it's 2 minus J. That's the conjugate of the denominator there, 2 minus J. See that? So you put a bracket here, you put a bracket here. So I'm multiplying, and if I open the top bracket, 3 times 2, it's 6. 3 times J, it's negative J3. Negative J2 times 2 is negative J4. Negative times negative it's positive j squared 2. Am I right? J squared 2 all over, and then 2 times. Remember now, when you're multiplying a difference of 2 squares or the conjugate, you multiply the first and the last. Those are the important ones. The center one, they will cancel. So here you are going to say 2 times 2 is 4 minus j times j is j squared. That's all that is enough there, which will be equal to, now when you're simplifying, this can be simplified further, is -1, so it's 6. Now minus 3 minus 4 is negative j7 here, and then j squared, remember, is minus 1 times 2 all over 4 minus 1. J squared is -1. I think I remember saying, if they give you j is square root of -1, now if you square, you are saying squared, which is -1. Remember that. So that's what I'm just driving at here. So now next one I have here is equal to, so it will be 6 minus 2 minus j7 over 4 plus 1. And then if you simplify that, this was just simpler. 6 minus 4, 6 minus 2 is 4 minus j7 over 5. So we have just managed to evaluate that. So this is that, and it gives you 3 marks. I don't think it was complicated also there. So that was that. So let's look at the next one. It says 5.4. It says use Cramer's rule to determine the value of m. To determine the value of, I think that's where the error was, the value of m only if. So the question here, I just checked and verified, they wanted you to find the value of z only. So you're only going to focus on the value of z. It says use Cramer's rule to determine the value of z only if. So you don't have to find x, you don't have to find y, you have to only have to find z. So now whenever they give this, you have to rewrite this as a matrix. So if you're going to write a 3 by 3 matrix, remember here you're going to have, that's the first part, which is your 3, your 2, and your 1. There is a 1 there. So what you're doing is you are writing the coefficients. Okay, so that's the first part. And then the second one, you're writing the y, which is the coefficient of y there. And for the coefficient of y, it's minus 4, minus 3, minus 6. And lastly, you look at the coefficient of z. There is a 1 there, which is 1, 2, and -3. And these numbers, I can actually bring them a bit further like that. Okay, you do that. So this is what I have. Now the first part is to evaluate this matrix, to find sorry about that, I need to find my d. I need to find the value of this matrix, and I'm going to come back to the rest of it. So for me to evaluate this matrix, it's simple. To find my d, the modulus is equal to, now remember how you evaluate the matrix. So what you have is equal to 3. So I'm writing here my 3. So I'm circling my 3, and when I'm cancelling that, I'm left with that. So remember that, which is -3, -6, 2, and that. So that's what I'm going to write. So which is -3, -6, 2, and -3, right? And then the next one is minus 4. So I'm going to be left with 2, 1, 2, minus 3. So now remember though that it's minus bracket minus 4. Guys, this is revision. That's why I'm just moving much faster. This is 2, 1, 2, minus 3. I think there is actually more work I focus on. Check my previous videos where I focus on finding simultaneous equation solving x, y, and z. If I've got this one here, I've got 2, 1, minus 3, and negative 6. And I've got plus, and then plus 1, which is 2, 1 in here, and then I've got negative 3 and negative 6. So I'm evaluating this matrix. That is my D. And then to get that D is equal to 3. Now remember what I need to do. Okay, by the way, whenever you are dealing with the matrix also here, always remember this start with the plus, minus, and the plus. Hence you say the plus here, you say the minus there, and you say the plus there. Always remember that. Okay, so now continuing, let's just look how do you evaluate the 2 by 2 matrix. You multiply like that, you subtract like that. Remember that. So you are saying 3 times negative 3. Let me use the calculator just to cut time here and not waste much time. So it's negative 3 times negative 3 here. It will be positive 9. Minus 6 times 2, it's negative 12. So it's 9 minus 12 is 21. Are you getting that? Minus 4 is plus 4. Again, you are going to say here with plus 4, I'm multiplying 2 times 3, it's negative 6. And then minus 1 times 2 is 2, which is negative 8. And then plus 1, and then what will I have there? I will have 2 times negative 6, which is negative 12, and then minus 1 times negative 3 is negative 3, then it's negative 9. That's what I have there. And then if I simplify that, the calculator, just rely mainly on the calculator so that you don't have to do much here. So I've got 321 plus 4 negative 8 plus 1 negative 9 equal to, I've got 22. So D there, the size of D is 22. The next one, it was interested in, so that is the size, the value, if we are evaluating the matrix, so that's the value of this matrix. Now the next one is they want me to find Z. So look at where there is this matrix. Let me bring it back here. Let me just erase this part. So in this matrix here, so where there is the part on, just bringing it closer. So in this matrix, remember, where there is the part for Z here, which was represented by this, which is 1, 2, minus 3, I'm going to substitute with 2, 4, minus 7 if I'm to evaluate Z. So in here, I'm going to erase, and I'm going to substitute with what? Just use even a different color is fine, which is 2, 4, negative 7. You see that? Then I'm going to evaluate this new matrix. So that's what I'm going to be evaluating. Let me take it down in here, because that's what I'm going to be evaluating. And then after that, we go to the answer. So if we are to find same thing, I'm doing similar here. If we are to find, now I'm going to call it my determinant of Z. I'm going to evaluate that. Similarly, I've got 3, it do that. I've got minus 3, minus 6, 4, minus 7. You see that? So it's 3, remember, is positive. And then I've got minus 3, minus 6, 4, minus 7. Now from positive, it's negative. So it's minus then it's minus 4, and then there is positive. And then do that. Now if it's minus 4, if you cross that, you've got 2, 1, 4 minus 7. Seeing that? So I've got 2, 1, 4 minus 7. And then it's plus 2 now. So that is plus 2. So if I have got 2 there, so you see 2, 1 minus 3 minus 6. So it's 2, 1 minus 3 minus 6. So we have to find the value of this matrix. It's simple again, similarly like what we did previously. And then when you're multiplying now with that, what you have is negative 3 times negative 7 is positive 21, minus negative 6 times this is negative 24. I'm getting what? 45 here. Minus minus is plus 4. Again, if I multiply that, I've got 7 times negative 7 times 2 is negative 14, minus 1 times 4 is 4, which is negative 18. And then plus 2. Then I also multiply 2 times negative 6 is negative 12, minus 1 times 3 is negative 3. I'm getting negative 9. And then if I'm solving there, then to say 3 times 45 plus 4 times negative 18 plus 2 times negative 9, which is equal to 45. So I'm getting 45. Now, how to find the final answer? The final answer, remember D is 22 and D of Z is 45. So we are going to say the final answer is Z is equal to D of Z over D, which is equal to D of Z is 45 over D, which is 22. So if you can simplify that, I think it's already simplified, because if you say 45 over 22, that's the final answer. So that is our Z, and sometimes I kind of try to just to cross-check one of them to ensure that I'm doing the right thing in terms of these matrices. You can also evaluate, remember, in different ways. For example, if I wanted to evaluate this metric, if I wanted to evaluate this one, let me bring it here to see if I'm getting a 45 also here. So what I do with method 2, method 2 is for verification, just to ensure, that feeling to say, you just want to feel that you did the right thing. So what you have, if I can have that, and then I'm using now the second method here, I have to rewrite it, the 3, 2, 1, I'm rewriting this 2, 3, 2, 1, and I'm writing minus 4 minus 3 minus 6. I'm using the second way of solving this. So what you have is, you're gonna have this faint, you draw these faint lines, you draw these faint lines. So what you do, you're multiplying 3 times 3, you're multiplying 3 times negative 3 times negative 7, then you write the answer. So what I have here, it will be just grab the calculator here, it will be 3 times negative 3 times negative 7. It will give me the answer, it's 63. And then this is 4 times negative 4 is negative 16, that's not a problem. 2 times 2, the other one is 2 times 2 times negative 6 is negative 24. So here it was this times this negative is positive 63, and then 4, so you add 4 times negative 4 is negative 16, you can put it in brackets, and then plus 2 times this, so in a way it was 6 times 212, which was negative 24, if I'm not mistaken there. Okay, we'll verify that. So you have done that. If you add that, you can then see what you get as the final answer. So it will be 63 minus 16 minus 24. It gives me 23. Just multiply 2 times negative 6, just to verify that negative 24. So it's 63 minus 16 minus 24 equal to 23. So here you get 23. You do the same thing on the other side, where faintly you get that. Let me make it longer, and then also you get that, and you get that. You're multiplying this. For example, this is 1 times negative 3 times this. You have got minus 6 plus the other one. If you see that the numbers are much bigger, better use the calculator. It's negative 6 times 4 times 3. See that? It's negative 72. This one is negative 72, and the other one is negative 7 times 2 times negative 4. It's 56. So it was negative 72 plus 56. You can do that. So now you can add that again. Ask yourself, if I'm adding that, what does it give? So you have got minus 6 minus 72 plus 56, and then it will give us negative 22. So it's minus 22. So how to then find the determinant of this matrix? We are saying this minus that. So you are saying d of z is equal to, because this was d of z, d of z is equal to 23 minus 22, which is equal to 23 plus 22, and if you do that, you get 45. And if you check, we also did get 45. This is just to, as I said, kind of a feeling to say, I hope I'm doing the right thing. So that answer then was correct. So that is that. 5.4, 6 marks. You get that 6 marks. They only wanted z, but you can move on using the same way to find your x, to find your y. I cover that part also in my other lessons. The last one, 5.5, says solve for m. I can make this bigger here. Just solve it from here. They're saying solve for m, and this is equal to 0. So we can actually evaluate it from here to say, I'll write it down a bit here. So this is a fraction. Say if I close that, so I've got m minus 4 minus 1 minus 6. See that? So I've got 2 m minus 1 minus 4 and 6. See this? So that's what I have as my first one, because you can erase that. And then after that, I've got, remember, it's plus, minus, and plus. So it's minus 1 again. I will have that. Now, since I'm having like that, so what will I have? I have got here 1, 6, minus 1, 6. And then after that again, I have plus. This time it's plus is that one, which is 1 over 2. And then I've got 1, 6, m minus 4. They're saying the modulus of this is equal to 0. So you're going to evaluate this matrix. That's what I'm doing here. They are saying if you evaluate this matrix, you're going to get a 0. So I'm evaluating it already. When I'm given straight lines, it means the size, or evaluate, or the determinant. Actually, I wanted to say the word. The determinant of this matrix, the d. So if you're finding d is equal to, that's what they're saying. So d is equal to, or some they use a0. the determinant of this matrix is equal to 0. So that's what you're doing. So when you do that, you must say this must give me a 0. Then you solve, you evaluate this 2 by 2 matrix, which is 2. 6 times m, it's 6m minus 4 times minus 1 is 4. I'm saying that minus is plus 1. Again, here what you are having is 1 times 6, it's 6 minus 6 times minus 1 is negative 6. It's more like double brackets now there. And then plus 1 over 2. And then 1 times minus 4 is minus 4. Minus 6 times m, it's 6m. This must give me a 0. Now, open the bracket here like that. This is 12m minus 8 minus is plus 12, because it's 1 times 6 plus 6 is 12, plus 1 over 2 times negative 4. Actually, I can simplify this. Half of negative 4 in here. So this opens and this opens. Half of 4 was 2. Half of negative 4 is negative 2. Half of 6 is 3. Half of negative 6 is negative 3. But with an m, see, is equal to 0. Then you collect like terms, and there we got that, and that comes together, which is 12m minus 3m is equal to, take it to the other side, you've got 8 minus 12 plus 2. So this 9m is equal to, you can use a calculator at this stage here and see what it gives. It's 8 minus 12 plus 2. It gives a negative 2. Then you've got your m here to say m is equal to minus 2 over 9. So that's the value of m. And then obviously this one needs you to test. You're asking yourself if m here, where there is m, is negative 2 over 9, how will this matrix look like? So you come here. Okay, I can evaluate it in a different way. So what I'm going to do with this matrix, I'm going to evaluate it like this, using the other method that I was showing you, just to ensure that I didn't make errors, you see. So I'm going to evaluate it in this form and say here, if I had, actually let me take this to the top, much up, so that I can have my space here. Alright, so this matrix, I'm just verifying this now. I've got what? I've got here 2 minus 1, 1 over 2, 1 minus 2 over 9, negative 1, 6 minus 4 and 6. And then I write the first 2, remember? When I'm in, that's what I'm going to write, the first 2, which is 2, 1, 6, minus 1, minus 2 over 9, minus 4. So now with my faint lines, I'm going to evaluate that. I'm going to multiply also this. I'm going to multiply that. But I'm going to be adding. Remember, you add this. So the first one, take a calculator again. Just rely on the calculator now. It's fractions. 2 times negative 2 over 9. And then times 6. You're just multiplying across. It gives you negative, it's negative 8 over 3 plus 6 times 1 times 1. This is plus 6, because negative gives you a positive. Then half times 1 times minus 4, I think it will be plus negative 2. Now you add that. Just to verify, you have got 1 over 2 there, times 1 times negative 4. See, that's why I got negative 2. So what we have is we are adding negative 8 over 3 plus 6 minus 2. We're getting 4 over 3. Right, so we're going to use similarly the other side with the faint lines. We're going to evaluate it there. Remember, you are adding across. So you start with the first one, rely on the calculator here, which is 6 times negative 2 over 9, and it's times 1 over 2. And then see what it gives you. It gives you negative 2 over 3. So it's minus 2 over 3 plus, there is the 1. Negative 4 times negative 1 is 4. 4 times 2, this one simple, gives me an 8. Even the other one, 6 times 1 times 1, it gives me a negative. Let me just erase this for more space. It gives me plus, but it's simple, a negative 6. If I evaluate that, I need to find the answer, put it in that box there. So let's evaluate it. It will be negative 2 over 3 plus 8 minus 6 equal to 4 over 3. So I'm getting here 4 over 3. Now remember, these two, you separate them. You start from here to say 4 over 3 minus the second one, which is 4 over 3. And then I'm getting a 0, which is they confirmed here that this was going to give you a 0, meaning the answer then for M is correct. So what is our value for M? M then becomes that value of negative 2 over 9. So then you'll be knowing that that is correct if I did it right. So guys, this was this part of the question. Let me minimize this. So this was what we're given. Question 5 is also out of 20 marks. So this was the last question. And as I said, guys, this is now the full memorandum. Actually, I'll say it's my first full memorandum of mathematics N4, but now I'll be doing them more often so that you guys can get more preparation as you prepare for your final exams. Guys, we've come to the end of our lesson. Remember, if you are benefiting from the channel, your comments are very important. We value your comments, we value suggestions, we value your input, and also don't forget, share the channel with others. Subscribe and ensure the notification bell is turned on so that you can be notified every time we are posting a new video. Now we have come to the end of our lesson. Thank you.